computer. All right, we are recording.
Yay! All right. Well, welcome everyone to tonight's Motivational Mastermind. It's been a couple of weeks, so we thank you so much for hopping on with us. But tonight is going to be really special, really excited to talk about binge eating, something that I personally can totally relate to, and something that we learn quite a bit about in our life books and as we go through our program. And so I thought it would be really nice to kind of outline what binge eating is, how it happens, and then, of course, how to work through that. So do you want to just do a quick intro, Mel, like we normally do, and then I'll go ahead and start that?
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for hopping on. Monica I don't have the permission to put it on Facebook Live. So this is, you guys are seeing this on YouTube or right on the page or on YouTube from the page. We are a group of people who think differently. We like to get together and discuss things to help you get through your day because life throws some curveballs at us. And if you're not, the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself and on personal care, on self-care, and taking care of your mindset is part of self-care. So binge eating, yeah, I can relate. So definitely a great topic. I think we all get under a little bit of stress, and we take care of that sometimes with binge eating. At least some of us do. Go ahead, Mom.
Definitely. So I guess let's start there. Has anyone ever experienced what you consider binge eating? If so, go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. If you've ever experienced yourself binge eating or what you consider binge eating. And okay, I see some ones hopping in. So thank you guys for being honest. Mine, I am going to put a big 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Like totally have been guilty of binge eating. Secondly, have you recognized when this is happening? Like, have you been able to recognize when this happens for you? So is there like a symptom of some sort or a trigger that causes you to binge eat? If you could just be so honest and maybe put that in the chat, what do you feel is triggering you or inspires you to go that route? Do you know? If you could put that in the chat. I see stress, boredom, tired, not feeling motivated. Awesome. I would say for me, all of the above. Definitely stressful situations. Yes, if I'm pissed off, I just want to eat something. Damn it. So it's easy to say, or let's just say it happens to all of us. And some of us, yeah, from thinking about things, like your thoughts run away from you. So first thing is, it's good to know that we're not alone, right? This happens to everyone. And the good news is we can avoid it. So I kind of want to walk you through that. Let me close this door. So the first thing is why do we binge? And honestly, there's a scientific reason, or there's like some common ways that this happens. And so I wanted to firstly share those with you. So the first thing about binging, why it happens, is because of an emotional symptom. And we just talked about this: boredom, stress eating, or stress. You're pissed, you're thinking too much. Some emotion triggers you, and that's the first symptom to go and eat something. The second way that binge eating happens is from constantly binge eating. So it becomes then a cycle. So I'm going to just tell you, I come from a place of being 300 pounds. My binge eating became a habit because I had a habit of overeating. So your brain is meant to keep you in survival. And if it's used to you eating large quantities, that's what it's used to. So when you say you stop that or you try and put a hold on the large quantities, it will trigger a binge because you're doing something you're not used to. So binging can happen, some sort of emotion causing you to soothe, or two, it's a habit that develops over time from you binge eating. Okay. So, what is an actual binge? Okay. So let's define that too. So we know where they're coming from, emotions and from habit, but what is it? Like, when can you really say you're binge eating? Okay. So I see closet eating in the chat. Amen. That is a big one. If you notice that you're eating alone, I know I've been guilty of eating in my car because I don't want anybody to know. If you're eating and then you feel ashamed of what you've just had, that is a form of binge eating. So, yes, hiding food, that's another big way that binge eating is happening. So, if that's a way to know, like, if it is a true binge, if you're hiding, if you're like, you don't want anybody to know and you feel ashamed afterward, you've gone on a binge. Okay. And it's being triggered by some emotion or the fact you binge often. So now it is a habit, right? You get rid of the evidence. So you want to like eat everything and throw it away. This is perfect. This is all good. And I'm sure we can all recognize this, right? So the thing is that our brain is amazing and can develop habits. Some are constructive, and then there can be destructive habits. So when you get into the habit of overeating all the time, or you get into the habit of giving into your urge, that's the habit. So now you might constantly go through the McDonald's drive-through line and get the 6-piece chicken nugget. It's a habit. When I feel a certain way, when I get stressed, this is what I do. Now it's a habit. Am I ashamed about it? Yes. Why? There's several reasons. I know it's bad for me. Do I throw away the evidence? Hell yeah. Not even I want 4 tacos and an Oreo shake at Jack in the Box. There you go. Those are your key go-to items, but you don't necessarily want to tell anyone. You you know the exact dollar amount. I love that. Yeah, my chicken nuggets with a large Diet Coke is $3.86. So I justify it by the cost of it, you know, that I'm stressed out. There's several ways that my brain allows me to give into it. Okay. So it's become a habit. And we're recognizing that this is probably a destructive habit. It's not constructive, right? So, how do you recover? There is a lot of research out there that shows if you have a binge problem, it is some sort of emotion that you're trying to soothe. And I love your answer, Mel, because you're right on point. If you didn't catch that in the chat, please read the chat, guys, if you're watching the replay. There's a lot of research out there that says that when you're in a binge, it's to soothe some emotion. And a lot of the research wants you to dig deep into your psyche and follow that rabbit hole down as to why you're being triggered and what you could do. And I'm just going to be honest, I don't like that. I think that that makes you feel like there's something wrong with you. There's some sort of emotional quotient that is, you know, holding you hostage and you can't control yourself. I believe that we're much stronger than that. So, what if when you got the urge to go through the McDonald's line, to go to Jack in the Box, you did exactly what Mel suggested, and that is pause. What if you stopped and challenged you going and then chose different? We learn that all the time, but I want to add to that. Did you know that urge has a tendency to diffuse, to transmute, to go away in 10 minutes. Statistically, scientifically, when you get an urge. Now, guys, this is not just an urge to eat. How many times have you had an urge to go shopping because you're bored? That's the trigger, boredom, right? That's one I'm guilty of. How many times have you had the urge to, let's just put this one out there, to flirt with somebody who's attractive? And attractive, you have the urge to like say something or mingle with them because they're super attractive. That's an urge. Do you do that? Would that be beneficial to what your current situation is? Drinking. When you get the urge to drink, I love that one, Mel, because it's super common. What if you stopped that? Because here's the thing. Let's just smoking cigarettes, okay? If you have the cigarette in your mouth, if you have the wine glass already, the wine's already poured, you lost. The urge has won. You didn't stop before the urge to prepare yourself or to work through that. The cigarette's in your mouth already, urge has won. If you're already in the drive-through line, urge has won. If you've gotten in your car to go through the urge has won. So there's many points along the way where you could redirect yourself. Maybe the cigarette does make it into your mouth, but you catch yourself and you quickly then throw it away. Maybe you make it through the drive-through line, but you decide to just order yourself a salad as opposed to the tacos. Could you do that? Could you divert yourself? What if you have the urge to drink? So instead you go get a sparkling Perrier, put a nice little lemon wedge on it, and try and fool yourself that way. The point is, you have to learn how to not act on the urge or minimize it. So it's literally stop, challenge, and choose. But you could call this resist the urge. And when the urge comes, decide to ride the wave. The wave is going to last 10 minutes. 9 times out of 10, by the time you get to the 10-minute mark, that urge has been diffused and you will have won. So then you get out of the cycle of creating this habit to binge. So it all starts with the urge, which is why I said from the very beginning, what if we just recognize the urges and you just work with those and not make it such a psychological, shameful thing that's happening to you? So that way you're not like, oh my God, I'm a failure and there's something wrong with me. Like, no, you just had an urge, same as to drink, same as to shop, same as to gamble. These are all urges to distract, to soothe when you're stressed, pissed, angry, not thinking, bored, not motivated, etc. So just resist the urge. So in element 16 of our life book, we're talking about addictive foods and how a lot of times it's the actual binge that will cause you to binge in the first place, because these foods will hijack your brain. So working through that element is essential to understanding what foods are this addictive and scary to hijack your brain, and also how to avoid it. So for any of you coaches here, what is a way that you do your best to set yourself up for success to avoid a binge or having something that you know is not in alignment with what you're trying to achieve? Does anybody want to share?
So one thing I was thinking as you were saying that, this works right in line with a binge, but I have a lot of clients that have a hard time. They love coffee, but they have a hard time getting in water. So a steadfast rule for me, and what I try to teach my clients, is to have 25 ounces of water before they have coffee. So in the same way as this binge, what can you do for those 10 minutes instead of doing that? And for drinking that 25 ounces of water before my coffee, when I really want coffee, it's a muscle that I've strengthened every single morning. So it's just how it is. So, like you were saying, the drive-through line, man, yeah, I've gotten in the drive-through line and thought, oh, I'll get this. But then I get up to the front and I say, can I have a salad? That's a muscle. That is a muscle. That is a muscle, definitely, because it's usually in Chick-fil-A, and I can think of some more things that I would like from Chick-fil-A rather than a salad. But you have that time, that 10 minutes, because Chick-fil-A's got 2 lines. And with all the lines that they have now, drive-throughs, they're all long. So you do have that opportunity to create that pause, because if you're in the line, you're stuck in the line, just make a better choice. Just find something, use that time to stop, challenge, and choose. And it is a muscle, and you do have to exercise it, and it will get stronger.
Great, 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 great point. I see Kevin popped off. Anything you want to add to some value for this topic?
Yeah, so for me, since the pandemic, for me, I found myself binging when I was binging. I would say I haven't done it in a while, but it would be on the peanut butter cups from Trader Joe's. Those things are amazing. And so what I would do was really bad. I would buy two, tubs of them. Yeah, I would always go on Fridays as a habit. I would go on Fridays, I'd buy two, and I knew I was going to literally binge and eat one whole tub in like one sitting on Friday. And then I would tell myself I'm going to eat the rest of it Saturday and Sunday. So it was really bad. I would eat, I don't know how many ounces of sugar over like 3 days. But what's helped me is I just don't buy it because I know myself. My whole life, I've never had any self discipline when it came to sweets. I just eat it until it's gone. I'm not the type to eat a little bit and then put it away and then come back. I just have no self discipline. I'm gonna eat it all. So I just honestly don't buy it. And I think element 6 in our life book talks about healthy surroundings. And so for me, it's just eliminating it from my house altogether because I know if I buy it, I'm not just gonna stop. And what I've also done too is sometimes when I go grocery shopping, I don't even go to Trader Joe's. I'll go to a different store like Sprouts who doesn't have those peanut butter cups because I know if I go to Trader Joe's, I'm likely to get them. But so if I'm really struggling with willpower, I'm not even gonna go to and put myself in that place because I know I can't avoid that aisle because it's like right. And it's weird because it's right across from like the veggies, the frozen veggies. And so I'll be like, I'll get my frozen broccoli, but then I'll go get 2 peanut butter cups. So sometimes I just don't even go. So that's what's helped me though.
That is amazing. I love that. Thank you for pointing out. I believe it is element 6 that talks about surroundings. And the first thing that Dr. A says in that element is that your willpower is going to be bought at the store. So to say that you stopped going to Trader Joe's altogether because that was easier for you than trying to go to Trader Joe's and avoid the peanut butter cups is so smart and such huge awareness. And like Mel is saying, that's amazing that you exercise that muscle to recognize this particular surrounding is causing me to have this urge, which I don't seem to be able to put any structure to, right? Like I can't just have 2 peanut butter cups a night for the next 3 weeks. I'm literally going to eat 2 bags in 2 days is what happens. I love that. So thank you so much for that. Mel, like when you were saying that it is a muscle that needs to be developed. Yeah, Kevin has no peanut butter boundaries. That's a muscle that Kevin is going to have to develop to go to a new store and get used to that place and then, buy what he needs and not bring that into the house. So that is amazing. I will say, I'm going to be really honest. When we were in Cabo, there was a bakery, not just any bakery, like a Porto's style bakery. Like you could literally get brownies, carrot cake, scones, cookies, everything there, gourmet sandwiches. So I would secretly walk away from dinner around 8-ish, 8 p.m.-ish, not tell anybody what I was doing or where I was. I'm like, oh, I'm going to the bathroom. Lie. Go to the bakery and get 3 desserts. They changed the desserts every night. So there was variety there, right? And so my brain was like, ooh, what do they have tonight? Gonna go see. My brain said, gotta get my money's worth for this trip. What is that? Like my money's worth? Really? Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, my ass being bigger doesn't feel like I got my money's worth. I feel like that was all wrong thinking. But I would take those 3 desserts, take them up to my room, hide them in the refrigerator because I didn't want anybody else to eat them. It's not even like I didn't leave them on the counter. I was like, oh, they're for me. They're for me. They're mine. They're mine, mine, mine. Hid them in the refrigerator. And after the night was over and I had time to sit there and fall in love with every bite, I binged the crap out of all 3 desserts, 3 of the 4 nights that I was there. And I'll be honest, the only reason why I didn't do it the first night is because I didn't know there was a bakery. The moment I found out that there was a bakery, I was like, oh my gosh, that's my jam. And it became a cycle, fueled by, let me get my money. So all faulty thinking, totally giving into the urges, and then hiding in my room to eat them, not telling anybody, and feeling absolutely ashamed afterward. And even to this day, because now my pants don't fit like they used to. So that was in total urge, which happens, or total binge that is happening to me going on 6 years of working on binge eating. So I share that with you to say it is a muscle that needs to be built. And just like muscles can deflate, you can backslide on this new mental push-up that you have when the surroundings change, like Kevin is saying. When the surroundings change for me. I was at a hotel that had a bakery. I don't live in a spot where there's a bakery in my house. If I did, that would be really, really detrimental to me. Like seriously, because like Kevin is saying, it's really hard to exercise that control for himself. Same for me. So I hope that this was helpful in identifying what is a binge. It's just an urge. They come from emotions and they come from a habit of binging. If you have a habit of binging, you're going to have a habit of binging. If you have a habit of giving into the urge, you will develop this habit. So stopping at the urge is key. Ride the wave. It's 10 minutes that you're going to have to get through. And like Mel so eloquently said, find something to do for those 10 minutes. You guys, I've even had to put myself to sleep. I have even like sat in prayer for 10 minutes. So like, oh my God, like dude, like give me, trying to distract myself for those 10 minutes to resist the urge. And then you can move on. And it does get easier. It does get better and better. But I really don't know that it ever goes away. Like I think urges are normal because the urge comes from survival, wanting to survive, give your body what it wants. Fat cells are back in the day were needed for you to survive, to live. But we don't need that anymore. Like now we have too many fat cells. If you're me, you still got some fat cells to get rid of that you could give away. So to be eating to create fat cells is not in alignment for me right now. So that's silly.
So can I add to that a little bit? I want to give you guys that are watching this some calls to action. Things that you can do to not do that. So you have the elements 6, which is your surroundings, and it was element 16, you said?
Yes, for addictive food.
Addictive food. The other thing is if you're working with one of us, you have a health coach. And there's been a number of times that I have called Monica to keep me, when I've had to walk into a 7-Eleven or something, to keep me from buying the chili limon chicharrones and something else. I'm going in there for water, but I know they're there at this 7-Eleven, and I know that just seeing them, if they're there, they're such a good deal. They're so cheap and they're so yummy that I'll get them. So I've had to call Monica and say, walk with me, be with me while I'm in the store. So just let you guys know that you don't have to do it by yourself. So if you don't have the book, if you're still having a hard time, pick up the phone, call somebody who knows what your goals are, that can help you be accountable, because I'm sure that they also call you for accountability too. That's what's beautiful about having community, is that you don't have to do this alone. And that's one thing that our program provides, is like helping you with the mindset, helping you with the community, and helping you with the accountability with a simple nutrition plan. So it doesn't have to be complicated, but just realize that, like Monica said, this is all normal. You're not abnormal. And everybody has, and if they don't, they probably aren't human, or they're lying.
That's abnormal. Yeah.
They're lying. They're lying. Something triggers them to make them want to do something that's not in alignment with their goals. So that's what we have community for. That's what we have our client support groups. That's what we have our education materials, and that's why we have our coach. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you so much for that, because that is a great point. Having your community to lean on is essential, right? Like, this group here would never judge me, because we're taught that that's not what we do here. The only thing that we do here is I love that we have each other. The only thing that we're taught to do here is to ask questions. So I have text messaged Kevin some really off the wall, stupid shit, like stupid. And he will just ask the most beautiful questions, which invokes more thought, which allows me to ride that urge, gives me those 10 minutes inadvertently by, keeping me talking, and how many times do we need that, to be talked off a ledge? Super, super helpful. So to have a community, like Mel said, your coach, and then the life book to work through this, to understand, is essential to change. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. I appreciate you sticking with us, even though tonight was a little bit different in regards to not having slides and things like that. Hopefully the information was valuable. We'll put this up in the group once we get the replay, and go from there. Any closing words, Mel?
Yeah, I just want to say, keep this for your clients, because they need to know that it's normal. Keep this for anybody who is looking to get healthy, to let them know that it's normal. Like, there is help out there. We do have this program. I will put the recording into the group, and save it on your phone, because I think this is going to be just the humanness out in this group, on this I want to say Zoom. On the Zoom is just about being human, and we're all human. So, and whoever sent this to you, then reach out to them and let them know that you want to explore this a little bit more.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Mel, for your honesty. Kevin, thank you so much for your honesty and your great ideas and that expansion on the topic. That was wonderful. And yeah, we will see you guys next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Guys. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.